Okay. Good morning, everybody. We're going to do some hamstring stretches, some resistance stretches for the dense fascia on the back of our hamstrings. And this is a nice routine to do. At your leisure. You can do it when you get some free time during the day, or in the evening, or when you feel like exercising, or you want to. It helps with the health of our spine. So when we do these stretches today, let's keep in mind the resistance. We want to change the fascia, and we want to see how it affects the movement in our spine, because the quality of tissue in our hamstrings reflects what's going on in our spine, whether it's compression or twists or turns or anything like that. So let's get down on the floor. Let's get down on the floor, and I'm going to stretch the left leg first. So I'm going to be on my right knee. I'm going to put my left leg forward, and you want to have a bend in your knee. You want to have a bend in your knee, okay? So the first movement we're going to make with resistance is pulling our heel back toward us, right? So I have a bend in my knee. I pull my heel back toward me, and can you feel that central hamstring, your foot straight ahead, and the back center of your leg engage? Keep that resistance, pulling back toward you as you fold forward. Let the resistance go and return to the start. So I got a chair. I'm holding on to something for balance, because you want it to be about the resistance. Pull the heel back, and then relax as you go back. And you can make any adjustments as you work your way through the set here. Let it go. So I'm going to create a little more length between my heel and my knee. Holding on to the chair for balance. I want to keep my hips square, tailbone tucked. I'm pulling my heel back, pulling my heel back, and then let it go. Keep resisting continually as you make the movement, and relax as you come back up. And there's a lot of things you can think about, any asymmetries, but we want to fold at the waist and keep the bend, if we can, out of our back, and you'll get more resistance, because we substitute a lot of the spine when the hamstrings don't fire and contract really nicely. So we're pulling back continuously with that heel, right? You can feel that. You can feel it with your hand. If you can't feel it, you don't have the sensation. So now, there's about a half dozen or so. Same position, but now we're just driving the heel down. Press it down into the floor. Don't pull it back toward you. Push it down straight into the floor. And right away, that prompts me to tuck my tailbone even more so I can get some force down through that leg. Now just push down, and then relax on the way up. So the range of motion has changed. The contraction of the muscles has changed a bit, right? So we're using a little higher up in the hamstrings, which is great. These are really tight, usually up here. So press down, just press down. You want to relax your foot and your toes. Press down, and then relax on the way up. Press straight down. And if it feels weak, just be with it. But press down. Now, if you're not sure you're pressing down, it doesn't feel like anything's happening, don't press down for one. And then just fold forward a little bit, and then relax, just don't press down, and then press down. And you'll feel the difference between pressing down and not pressing down. So now the resistance is pressing down, and relax on the way up. So this is just two ways that our hamstrings move us. The heel pulls toward us and the hamstrings shorten in that way. The whole leg drives down and extends the leg behind us. So let's do another. Press down. So this is the central hamstring. This is the brain meridian. Okay, let's check that out. Let's just check it out. You can come on up, shake out both legs, and just see what you notice. The difference between side to side. I can feel a little looser on the back on that side. The foot softer, planting in the ground, the leg stronger, holding you up more. A little better balance on that leg, and it's usually the other way around. Shoulder feels back in place, move back in space. Anything you notice is yours, right? Anything you notice is yours. So let's do the central hamstring on the right leg, okay? And so we're doing this in two ways, right? The position's the same. The position will be the same. But the first round, we're pulling back toward us. Pull that heel back toward you. Pull that heel back toward you. Pull that heel back toward you. Let it go. Let's do about half a dozen here. And you can do as many as you want, but a really great way to stretch is to do it in sets. You want to do 3 sets. You can do 4 sets, but 3 sets is a really good number. You'll notice the progression and the changes from set to set. And, a couple things you want to do, because it's about resistance. You want to create as much resistance as you can. And you don't necessarily have to push down harder. You certainly can add more force, just generally speaking. But when we substitute, and that could be a number of things, the torso could be turned a little to the right or turned a little to the left. And if you can just make those micro adjustments, so you can see my torso is turned a little bit to the right, simply squaring it up creates more force. Because remember, the dense fascia and scar tissue in our body throw us off the path, throw us off any path we're trying to do physical movement and otherwise. So we're pulling the heel straight back toward us, And so tucking the tailbone can create more resistance too. There's not a whole lot of space to tuck the tailbone in this position, but you can. Then keeping your head up, just moving it with your spine, pull that heel back, and that could be another way to increase the force, okay? So now, let's switch up the direction of force, and instead of pulling back toward us, boom, straight down into the mat, drive it straight down, as we go forward, and relax on the way up. So I'm aware that I have more force pulling toward me than I do just pressing straight down. You may feel the same, you may feel it's the opposite, or you might not know the difference. It could be very similar. So these are the things you just want to identify. And whenever you get an opportunity, you can put your hand on your hamstrings. Again, pressing straight down fires the hamstring up higher. And because of all our sitting over the years, up high especially, up here, we've lost that contractibility of the hamstring. And whenever you sit or you're in a position where your muscles are lengthened for any length of time and there's no contraction or maybe there's no consciousness, like sitting, the body will lay down these fibers and to protect us. And so then, just by doing an inactive thing, you can create dense fascia and scar tissue. Right? So we're just pressing down, relax as we come up. And I can feel it all the way down the back of the leg, lower leg. I can feel a little bit burning in the ankle. I have an old injury on this right leg. And from time to time, I feel like it's coming out, the twists are coming out, hamstrings work better. Okay, just press straight down. All right, now let's check it out. Shake it out a bit. And so I feel more movement in the lower spine, like the lumbar, hip area. I can feel some space in the knee that I wasn't aware of, that I didn't have. Now I have it. Feet feel softer on the ground. That shoulders back. So what do you notice? I'm naturally turn, and my body kind of wants to twist. So it does create more movement in the spine, in the torso, in relation to the spine. So let's do a couple more. So that was the brain. We have 3 hamstrings. We just did central. Now we're going to do medial, the back inside of the leg. So let's go back to the left leg. I'll be on the right knee, and same fixed leg position. Now you can bend your knee, as much or as little as you want. You definitely need a bend, because if you don't have a bend in your knee, the stretch, it's hard to fire up the hamstrings and stretch the hamstrings. But what we're doing here, I have a little more width between my foot and my knee, and I'm turning my foot in, turning in. I'm also, the thigh turns in a little bit too. When I say turn the foot, the whole leg turns in a little bit. Now again, first we're going to pull back toward us, pull back toward you. You can feel now it's the medial hamstring. You feel it on the inside here? Keep pulling back, keep pulling back, keep pulling back, and then let it go. So that's a whole different muscle. That's a whole different muscle. And this is associated with the pancreas, so we can improve our enzymatic responses, improve the health of our enzymes throughout our body. It's also associated with the health of our fascia, so I'm moving around a little bit. Tucking that tailbone, ribs in, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Let it go. And a good way to think about breathing, you can breathe any way you want, is to breathe in and out through your nose. A lot of benefits for hydration and the different gases like nitric oxide and carbon dioxide and oxygen and all these things happen nicely when we breathe through our nose. So pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Make sure there's a bend in that knee. And then where are you substituting? Where are you twisting and turning? So you're always finding the path of greatest resistance. Okay, now let's do a half dozen just pressing straight down. Let's just press it straight down, press it straight down, press it. Now that's coming from a little higher up. And let it go. Push straight down and then come on back up. Breathing in and out through your nose. Keeping those ribs in. We're doing our hamstring routine here, fixed lunge. Pushing the heel straight down, pushing the heel straight down. And that gives us a slightly different contraction, right? Okay. Now, let's check it out. And when you check out what happened afterwards, that's more internal rotation up high in the thigh. That's the first thing I noticed. It extends the pelvis really nicely, giving a lot of space in this low back. Right around the rhomboids, I can feel that muscle loosened up, and like the shoulder, the back of the shoulder can sit back on that. I'm aware that there's a bit more of an arch in my foot here. So you just feel what you feel. You can walk around, see how your legs walk and move. You can do little kind of lunges or any exercises, down dog, any yoga poses in relation to how your body's changing. So you want to, this way you get to learn what's working a little better, what's not happening so much. I'm going to do the right leg, and I'm going to stay at this angle so you can just show the medial hamstring. So I got the foot turned in, got a little more width between my legs. I got the bend in the knee. I'm pulling back as I fold forward and relax on the way back. So I can feel the medial hamstring, less sensation than I had on the left. Something to be aware of. You might have more. But I also feel it in the lateral hamstring on the back outside of my right leg. So I know we're going to do that next. So I know we'll take care of that. But that's getting a little bit in the way. So pull back toward you at the start. Pull back at the start. Find your positioning. It's a great time to make your adjustments. You can make your adjustments throughout the movement. You can make your adjustments throughout the movement. But the start is really a nice time to, when you fire that heel back, Maybe that tailbone just wants to be neutral, ribs in. Okay, now we push straight down with the foot. Straight down, pressing straight down. Now this feels like it has no strength whatsoever. So I'm going to do one without any pushing down, And now I'm going to push down. Yeah, I'm pushing down. And I have more sensation in my medial hamstring as I push down than I did pulling back. Just something to note. I don't know necessarily what it means right now, right? But these are just the things you identify about your body because you want to change the fascia. That's the resistance, and the movements with resistance change the fascia. So it's resistance and repetitions. And you want to think of it in that way. The more you do, the better it's going to get. Pressing straight down. And I can feel that the heel really wants to pull back, but I want to develop and engage the muscles as they push straight down. Pushing straight down. And range changes happen not only at the end of the range, but at the beginning. So at the beginning, you can generate more force as you go through a set or as you repeat sets. So let's check that out. See what you notice, shake it out, move around, walk around a little bit. More open chest. So there's both, now I'm aware like both shoulders go back nicely after those pancreas, those medial hamstring stretches. So see what you notice. Again, the pelvis getting more extended, more upright. Now, lateral hamstring, the bladder. This is a great stretch. Improves the health of your bones. You can create more bone density. Improve the health of your bladder. So I'm going to be on the right knee, left foot forward. Now I have less width than I did on the pancreas. And I turn my foot out. So turn your foot out a little. And now the same thing, we're going to pull toward us. Pull that heel toward us into the mat and toward us. And stretch with resistance. Let the resistance go to the heel. Let's do it again. So pull back, and then relax all the way up. Now this is a different muscle. It's a lateral hamstring. And I don't have a lot of sensation, but when I pull back, I can feel the back outside of the leg engage. And in most of us, this is the muscle group that I believe is most affected, negatively affected by all the sitting we did as school children and school adolescents. So pull that heel back, relax your foot and your toes. Pull back. Okay, now push down. Push that heel down. I can feel myself coming off of my knee a little bit on the right side. So there's a little bit of fire in the lateral hamstring here. Now I'm pushing straight down, a lot more sensation. There's a bit of a burn going on. Let it go. Press straight down. The tailbone wants to tuck to create more resistance. And in this movement, pressing straight down, I feel a little higher up. How you doing, everybody? This is our last hamstring. Great routine to do every day. And you'll find you just get stronger and stronger, more and more flexible, looser. It affects the spine, the shoulders, all the way up into the neck and head. Press straight down, tuck that tailbone, resist. Press straight down. Okay. All right. Check it out. Let's check it out. All right. More glutes. Glutes are firing. Feel that? I feel it right in the glutes. A little more internal rotation, even down lower in the leg, not just up high, but The lower leg is turning in more naturally. Shoulder drops a bit. Shoulders just kind of softer on that side. But I notice the tightness in the back of the right, in addition to the softness. Yeah. I like the pelvis sitting back more and more in the standing position. You know, it's supposed to flex for us as we sit. So see what you notice. You know, try out your yoga pose or a push-up or some kind of exercise you do. It's always in relation to something and how it's getting better and easier, right? And then you might notice, not initially, but that the alignment gets better, right? And that's really, that in itself produces a more force and more strength in our body that we have access to. So let's do the right leg lateral hamstring. So we'll be on our left knee. We're going to put our right foot out there, bend in the knee, turn that foot out a little bit. And now the first half dozen, we're pulling back. Pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Keep pulling back. So wherever your attention is while you're resistance stretching, you know, that's certainly where it should be. And it's something you can give your attention to. You might need to make an adjustment. But, you know, we'll learn those things as time goes by. You just get more familiar. But continually resisting throughout the movement is something you always kind of want to come back to. Because we get in a routine and we start to do reps and they happen more rotely. Maybe we want to crank out 3 sets of 20 and just get the 3 sets of 20 done. And then other times, you know, you get to spend some time. You get to spend some time with the resistance, pulling back. And, you know, you can feel we're generating quite a bit of force. You can feel it through your heel, right? So pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. And relax. Start to feel a little bit in the foot in front of the ankle. Something's coming out, something's coming out, something's being exposed. Okay, 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 okay. Now, let's push down. Push straight down so the force is going right directly down into the mat. And I can feel it differently than when I was pulling back. Breathing in and out through your nose, tailbone tucked, torso square. Let it go. Resist continuously as you push down. Relax on the way up and fire it up again in the start. Push down, push down. Let it go. Breathing in and out through our nose. And you can go as fast as you want. You can go as slow as you want. All right. See what happened. Let's see what happened. Shake that out. Upper body feels looser. There's more movement naturally happening up here, more in the hips. Feels like there's space in the groin. So check in, see how you move around, and then do something you're familiar with. I mean, it might be something you do, gardening or a fitness class, but this is something that can happen every day. You know, hamstrings are really tough tissue, and it's really wonderful when we get to stretch them like this with resistance and change the fascia. So enjoy. Give us your comments. We'd love to hear how you're doing. Thanks, everybody. See you next Sunday.